Okay. Okay. I didn't think, when you first watch this game in the entire first period, you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's just one of those nights. They don't have their legs. It's finally catching up, this long stretch of hockey that they've been on and playing very good through. It's finally caught up to them, and they're finally playing their first bad game in so long. So it's an unwatchable game. There's really probably going to be no use of recapping this. And then the rest of the game happened. And then the beginning of that second period happened when Nick Seeler completely goes bonkers with the fight, all the penalties that he got, going crazy from the penalty box, barking at the refs, and then he gets tossed out of the game. This team just found a way to completely play for their teammate that, went through that entire situation. He was pissed off. You're not used to seeing Nick Seeler go completely ballistic like that. He's usually, even though he's more of a physical type of guy with the way that he plays on defense, but I've never seen this guy, barely completely lose his mind like that with the way that Nick Seeler did in tonight's game. Dude was pissed off, rightfully so, because the team at that point was getting crushed. They were not good. The first period was completely embarrassing. Being down 5-1 in that instance, it's just completely, unheard of from this team because they've probably never been from that type of deficit before this season. That was probably their worst played period of the entire season in that first period. Carter Hart got the start tonight, clearly showing a lot of sign of rust. His last game played was that, almost 2 weeks ago at this point against Colorado. It was Sam Ersson basically ever since then. And yeah, and whatever illness Carter Hart was dealing with, maybe that had a factor into it too. Maybe that was also rust. And yeah, the first period was definitely not pretty. The Flyers didn't have their legs. They were just getting outworked the entire time. They do make it 2-1, but then Detroit goes on another roll, scoring 3 more goals to make it 5-1. But then you take the lead 6-5 out of nowhere, and then Carter Hart gives up that insanely soft goal to Dylan Larkin, where he's just, not holding the post right. He just has that little bit of wiggle room there in between his skate and the post where it allows the pucks to squeak through and it goes in. Like, that's definitely not a goal, if you're Carter Hart in that instance, that you should be allowing in that case directly after your team takes a very emotional lead in that turn of the game with so many minutes left. That's the difference between you getting 2 points and you getting 1 point, but you find a way to get to overtime in general. You found a way to get to overtime in general being down 5-1. Like, that should be an achievement in itself. Like, I'm not even pissed off that they lost. I'm disappointed that they didn't figure out how to get the final 2 points in this game, but I'm, ecstatic that they found a way to get even a point in this game. Found a way. And the way Carter Hart played in the overtime, that save that he had on Shane Gostisbehere in the final, 15 seconds of the overtime? Oh boy, that man stood on his head in that extra overtime period because the Flyers clearly did not look like they have their legs. They were just gassed. They were completely gassed. I feel like whatever energy that they had after Owen Tippett scores that go-ahead goal and directly after Larkin ties it, I think the energy kind of got sapped out of him there. But hell, credit to Carter Hart for what he did in those final minutes of the third period to get the overtime. The way he played the entire overtime, just sadly, you just weren't able to win in the shootout. That just, sadly is the case. I guess this team was due to lose a shootout at the end of the day. But no reason to keep your head down after a game like this. I'm sure that'll be the message from John Tortorella after this. There's no reason to keep your head down. We were down 5-1, and we somehow get a point out of this. Like, that is something to appreciate with the way the squad just completely responds, and they handle the adversity. They find a way to come back as a group. They stand up for their two teammates. Honestly, they stand up for Nick Seeler, who basically put his body out there on the line and got kicked out of the game, and they stand up for Carter Hart, who obviously didn't have a good first period, allowing 5 goals, and even though the team in front of him was also bad as well, but Carter Hart wasn't good either. So they stand up for Carter Hart, and hey, he was good in the second period. He was good besides that one goal that he allowed in the third period, but, this team responded. This team responded, and they responded in a way that I did not even expect them to, especially on the second half of a back-to-back. After traveling, I completely did not expect that from this team, but they just got this insane surge after everything that Nick Sealer did, and they just ran with it. One goal. Okay, it's 5-2. Another goal. Okay, it's 5-3. They get another goal in the third period. Oh my God, they're actually doing this. And then Lawton gets that rebound and he puts it in. And then Owen Tippett and Morgan Frost on the rush. You can tell that Detroit's goalie doesn't have the shot fully covered because he's looking behind him. He doesn't think he has the puck, and the ref never blew the whistle. Here comes Owen Tippett charging the net and finding that loose change to bury it home to take the lead. Like, dude, like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? That was the case that happened in this game? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. My God. Oh, man. Man. But yeah, I think you can give... There were things that, you should have won this game. Yeah, Carter Hart was not good today. He did stand up. I'll give him credit for what he did in the overtime. I definitely did. He wasn't good in the shootout. He wasn't good majority of the game. He did, save them in overtime. I know, basically, Carter Hart just overall was not good tonight. I think that is the entire thing there. This is really one of the only games this year where I think their goaltending has been bad. And yeah, that could definitely be a lot of reasons to it because, like I said earlier, with Carter Hart and the sickness, Carter Hart not playing basically in over a week and a half at this point, basically almost 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks tomorrow from the last time that he played against that Colorado Avalanche team where he played really good. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens in the end of the day there. But, Carter Hart will be fine. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. They also got so many days off in between this game until their next. I think Hart will be fine if he's figured out whatever this illness that is going on with him. He'll be fine after that entire standpoint. But you just got to get the team credit, man. There's no reason to hang your head on tonight. Really, the only person that's probably going to hang his head is Hart. That's probably it because he did not play a good game. But that response, you can't ask for more. Bobby Brink gets a goal. Coots Frosty in the second period. Halfway Lawton and Owen Tippett in that third period, man. Can't ask for more than enough there. Cannot ask for more. It's just that simple. I want to see how many power plays did the Flyers get. Many power plays in this game. I'm not entirely sure, honestly, if that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, during that entire first period, there was like so many roughing penalties. Nick Delorier half-away, Fisher, and Hull. And then you get that entire situation with Nick Sealer and everything like that. The instigator penalty, the fighting major. He gets another instigator, and he gets the game misconduct. It's ridiculous. For some reason, he gets 2 instigating penalties. For some reason, that's just weird, in my honest opinion. I've never seen 2, unless that's like, what I'm reading it here. So I guess he got a 10-minute misconduct for the instigation, and then he got the game misconduct. When I'm reading it right here on NHL.com, just reading all across the penalties and everything like that. But Jesus, this was a crazy game. This definitely was a very, very, very crazy game. Like, there's no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that in the slightest. But man, I out of all of that being down 5-1 in that first period, I never would have thought in the slightest day that they would find a way to get a point out of this. I never would. I never would, man. And that's the difference about this team, in my opinion. And I think everyone knows that at this point. They just found a way, man. They just continue to find ways. And I don't know. They play as a unit. They play for each other. They stand up for one another. They respond to different situations that you really don't even expect them to respond to. It's amazing what this team does. Can never count them out. Can never count them out. They find ways to get points. You can go up 50-0 on this team. They'll find a way to get a point out of that somehow. It'll be 50-50 to lose 51-50 in the overtime. If that's even physically possible. I doubt it even is. I'm just making up scores at this point. It's still crazy, man. It's still crazy. It really is. Jeez. I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to that, honestly. I don't even know what, even say words at this point. It was crazy. Jesus. It's just crazy how they were able to even get a point out of this. Like it's just borderline speechless at this point. Like seriously, down 5-1, you find a way to get a point. There's definitely going to be those sour heads that are like, like it doesn't mean anything because you didn't get 2 points out of this, dude. What teams come back down from 5-1 every single night? None, not many, not many. To even get a point out of that situation is something. But yeah, you probably got costed 2 points out of this game from Carter Hart. That definitely is the case there. Yeah, he didn't play good tonight. That's the bottom line. Yeah, Carter Hart did not play good. For as great as he was in the overtime, he was not good in that first period. He was not good in that shootout, and he was not good, especially giving that very soft goal up to Dylan Larkin from an impossible angle. Those are just the types of goals that just should not go in. That just shouldn't. But hey, what are you going to do? Bounce back your next game. There's nothing to be concerned about for Carter Hart. I just think that from him not playing in a little bit and whatever this illness was that he's going through, maybe that's the reason why he was, very rusty to start this game and basically throughout that entire first period. There's nothing to be concerned about long term. He just had a bad game. He just had a bad game. That happens with goaltenders. And for as good as Carter Hart has been basically this entire season, I guess you could say he was due for a bad game. And sadly, it just happened to be the case tonight where they just have an amazing 5-1 comeback. It just happened to be that case. And yes, you were in a position to get those 2 points. And sadly, he allowed that bad goal. But I'm just not. I'm just like really just overall more happy than not that they found a way to get a point out of this. That's my takeaway from this. That's my takeaway. Disappointed that they weren't able to get the 2 points, but ecstatic that they figured out how to get 1 point out of this. That's something that you should you should be able to, pat yourself on the back for getting that type of situation there. I do want to see if there is anything from the team after tonight in terms of, players and everything like that, or if like Tort says anything. Let's see. I don't think there is. If I'm seeing anything here. Let's see. I don't think there is. I don't think there is anything here in terms of I'm watching freaking Nick Sealer completely lose it in the freaking penalty box on the referees. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Don't think there's anything else. Don't think that, yeah, Red Wings fans were tossing hats for Patty Kane's goal in the overtime. Yeah, he had 2 goals in the first period. It's not a hat trick. Not a hat trick. Not a hat trick. Ay. Let's see. My God. I'm trying to look at this everything here on Twitter just to see if there's anything. Like I'm just constantly rewatching this Sealer thing. It's freaking hilarious. Instead of looking at me try to look at Twitter, why not go to the Anytime Hotline here? We do have a voicemail here from Sean. Let's see what Sean has to react about this wild game where the Flyers find a way to squeak a point out.
Wow, wild game tonight. This is one of those games where even though the Flyers lost on the scoreboard, you take it as a win. I mean, to get a point when you're down 4 goals on the road, I'll take that any day of the week. I mean, it's a little disheartening to have the game tied on a garbage goal like that. And then in the shootout, part of me was kind of tempted that they put Airson in there because Carter Hart in shootouts is not a good thing. But again, as frustrated as we are about the Eagles, the Flyers are the total antithesis. They're showing you heart. They're showing you fight and fire. And what I like the most right now is organizationally, there's no BS. I mean, they're pretty much telling you, hey, we're not there yet, but stick with us. I mean, you can see it. I mean, this is a solid road point tonight after a tough loss the night before. You take it, and, you know, hopefully after the Christmas break, they string some more wins together. I mean, playoffs would be nice, but right now I'm just appreciating the effort.
We're talking playoffs here, Sean. What do you mean the Flyers are winning the Stanley Cup? What the hell do you mean, Sean? Flyers are winning the goddamn Stanley Cup after what we're talking about here. Man. Yeah. It's one of those situations, yeah, you appreciate getting that point. They probably should have got the 2 points. Carter Hart cost him in that case. Wasn't good in the shootout. Wasn't good basically the entire game besides overtime. That's basically it there. You showed Hart. The team played for Carter Hart. They played for Nick Seeler. They found a way to squeeze a point out of this one when you thought they were dead to rights in that after that first period. So that's where you got to hold your head on there, man. That's where you got to hold your head on. Give yourself 2 pats on the back. No reason to worry about Carter Hart in the long term. Had a bad game. It happens. You move on. You got 4 days off here for your Christmas break. You bounce back against the Vancouver Canucks, who are a very hot team. You did beat them earlier on in the season. That was the beginning of the season, no. This is a different Canucks team. So we'll see what happens there. You're on your Western Canadian road trip, including Seattle. So we'll see how this team bounces back in that instance. So, crazy, wild game tonight. Found a way to squeak 1 point out of it, which is insane in itself. And you gotta appreciate about that with this team. You just do. The effort that they give on a nightly basis. They show heart. Exactly what Sean said. They are the complete antithesis to what the Eagles are, or have been, the past couple of weeks. So, it's going to do it for tonight, everybody. That's where I'm going to leave it off. Thank you for joining, or whenever you're tuning into this game. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thanks, guys, for tuning into this tonight. Just still determining what we're going to be doing the next couple of days. Tomorrow, probably an off day. There's really nothing else going on. Sunday's Christmas Eve, so nothing going on there either. Monday, like I said, that's probably just going to be a recorded recap of the Eagles game, so everyone can just enjoy their Christmas and everything like that. But for now, that's basically it for here. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Enjoy your Christmas Eve. Enjoy your Christmas. Everything there with your time and family and all that stuff. I hope everyone here enjoys that. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it off here. I appreciate you, one and all of you. I'm very thankful for everyone here. And I'll see you next time.